Thank you all the participants. Namaste from Kathmandu. Uh, in my presentation, I'll try to discuss the evaluation in Nepal in relation to the constitutional provisions and institutionalization process. Next. I would like to begin with a quick background on the major historical incidents that happened in the last three and a half decades in Nepal. In 1990, 30 years of the king's direct rule were ended. Multi-party democracy was restored, and the king agreed to limit his role as a constitutional monarch. Then Nepal went through the Maoist armed conflict for a decade that started in 1996. Around 17,000 people got killed and thousands of others got injured in that conflict. Royal massacre happened in 2001. The entire family of King Birendra got killed. Crown Prince Dipendra, who allegedly killed himself at the end, was found responsible for the killing as per the official investigation report. Gyanendra, the brother of the late king, was chosen as the new king. Unlike his brother, he tried to exercise executive power by himself. All political parties joined hands with the Maoists in 2006 against the authoritarian rule of the king. One of the biggest people's uprisings in Nepal's history was seen in the streets of Kathmandu and other parts of the country. That created a ground to dethrone the king in 2008. Nepal as a country, it was a huge transition from a 240-year-long Hindu kingdom to a secular federal republic state. In 2013, the Constituent Assembly election took place for the second time, as the first one from 2008 couldn't deliver the constitution. And finally, in 2015, the new constitution was promulgated by the Constituent Assembly. Next, Rajani.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And now, since Honorable Ramesh, he mentioned about the new constitution that came to Nepal, okay? But here is a very interesting thing. When new constitution was made in Nepal, and promulgated, there was this thing that Nepal became the only country where evaluation was embedded in the national constitution. And it was a huge achievement for the evaluation community. And now there is a poll for you. What do you think? Nepal is the first country in South Asia or Asia Pacific region or globally to have the evaluation embedded in the constitution. I would like to know your response. Okay, the responses are coming in. Uh, okay, we're almost done. Okay, here's we've almost crossed the 50% of the responses, so I'd like to end the poll here and share the result. So yes, majority have mentioned you that it's the Asia Pacific region, and the answer is correct. It is Asia Pacific region where Nepal became the only country where evaluation was embedded in the constitution. But then there are very few other countries that evaluation is mentioned in the constitution of their country. So it's a huge achievement for the evaluation community worldwide. So I'd like to stop the poll here. And Rameshji, please carry on with your presentation.
Thank you, Rajani, for the poll. And Ranjika, can you show the slide, please? Next.
Randika, are we able to move further? We would like to go to the next slide, please. Okay.
Yes. Uh, uh, as we just hear, like Nepal has embedded the evaluation in the constitution. The Nepali constitution is considered progressive in various aspects, such as ensuring people's sovereignty and adopting inclusivity in the state mechanism. As the constitution has emphasized social justice and inclusion to address historical discrimination, even in parliaments, there are members with diverse ethnic backgrounds, including at least one-third of women's representation mandatory by law. The Constitution has also enshrined evaluation in different articles, such as Articles 54 and 293. I'll discuss these articles on the next slide. In addition, there are 3 sub-articles about evaluation, as well as 7 sub-articles and 2 schedules on monitoring. However, I'm not going to discuss all of these sub-articles and schedules here. Next. As I stated earlier, there are 2 articles in the Constitution that are quite important in terms of evaluation. The first one is Article 54. This article says that there shall be a committee in the federal parliament in order to monitor and evaluate whether or not the directive principles, policies, and obligations of the state have been implemented progressively. So this basically covers as a whole that what the state has promised to its citizens through principles, policies, and obligations has to be monitored and evaluated by the parliamentary committee. Likewise, the Article 293 says the chiefs and officials of the constitutional bodies shall be accountable to the federal parliament. The committees of the House of Representatives may monitor and evaluate the functioning, including reports of the constitutional bodies other than the National Human Rights Commission, and give necessary direction to or advice. This is how this article has made constitutional bodies such as the Election Commission, Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, Auditor General's Office, and so forth, accountable to the people via Parliament. Next. On the application side of the evaluation, the National Planning Commission, also known as NPC, has a special role. It is a specialized and apex advisory body of the government. NPC formulates a national vision, development policy, periodic plans, and sectoral policies. The NPC is headed by the Prime Minister as a chairperson. However, there is a vice chairperson represent the commission in various forums. The NPC serves as a central agency for monitoring and evaluating development policy, plans, and programs. Nepal launched its first development plan in 1956. As of now, the NPC is about to launch the 16th periodic plan, which will be implemented from mid-July this year for the next 5 years. Next. The NPC has formulated 2 main documents to carry out the evaluation work. The first one is Result-Based Monitoring and Evaluation Guidelines 2010. And the second one is the National Monitoring and Evaluation Guideline 2013. This guideline was revised in 2018 to make it fit with the concept of federalism that was in place as per the new constitution. In Nepal, the federal government, provincial government, and local level have constitutionally assigned distinctive and shared functions, roles, and responsibilities. The 3 tiers of formulate national, provincial, and local level plans within the jurisdiction of their respective tiers. Next. NPC hires third parties for evaluation on a competitive basis and facilitates them. However, not all the projects are evaluated by this process. So far, evaluation has been conducted on either mega projects or donor-funded projects only. All the ministries have monitoring and evaluation sections, but their work in evaluation is pretty negligible due to the budgetary constraints. These sections are only doing a few monitoring. Next. The Social Welfare Council, also known as SWC, is the focal point for roughly 200 international non-governmental organizations, INGOs, that are active in Nepal with different development projects. Beside the SWC, also administers the national NGOs that get funding from abroad. SWC has a monitoring and evaluation department that records information about NGO and INGO activities. This department is responsible for conducting periodical monitoring and evaluation of NGO and INGO and preparing reports on their activities. SWC charges the evaluation fee from the respective NGO or INGOs, which often raises question of impartiality and conflict of interest in relation to the evaluation. Next. To put the constitutional provisions into practice, we have to have a law at an operational level. The NPC therefore initiated the drafting of monitoring and evaluation bill already in 2015. That bill entered the upper house of the parliament, also known as the National Assembly, in March 2020 and was rectified from there in February 2023 only. As of now, the bill is in the lower house, also known as the House of Representatives. There are 3 voluntary organizations of professional evaluators, also known as BOPE in Nepal, and along with the members of Parliamentary Committee for Evaluation, we are lobbying with the respective parliamentarians and their parties to pass the bill from the House of Representatives already in this winter session when possible. Next. The monitoring and evaluation bill has defined evaluation as a term within the framework of 6 OECD criteria for evaluation, which includes relevance, coherence, effectiveness, efficiency, impact, and sustainability. This bill also defines the scope of evaluation for federal, provincial, and local government so that once it is enacted, it will facilitate the evaluation processes at all levels. Next. Despite constitutional provisions, the evaluation work has faced multiple challenges here in Nepal. As we already discussed, the monitoring and evaluation bill is still in the parliament and it is taking longer to rectify. To be specific, it took almost 3 years to rectify from the upper house. And since then, it has been in the lower house. We believe that it shouldn't take that long here to get approved. The second challenge is the fund. The government used to allow just a nominal budget for evaluation annually. In 2021, out of the total budget of 16.47 billion, the amount earmarked for monitoring and evaluation was just 1.49 million Nepali rupees, which is 0.09% only. For these budgetary constraints, the government ministries or Prime Minister's office have not been that effective, although they have a setup for monitoring and evaluation in each offices. Next. Sorry, can you go back once, Randika? In some sections of society, evaluation is perceived as on the donor's agenda, therefore it is not given a high priority. In fact, the users of the evaluation thus far are quite a few. That is also reflected in the evaluation practices of National Planning Commission as they conduct evaluations for either mega projects or donor-funded projects only. The country chapter of the Global Parliamentarians Forum for Evaluation was formed in Nepal in 2015, but the chapter kind of lost its momentum and now it needs to be revived. However, there are former parliamentarians who are active in their personal capacities in terms of evaluation, but the collective approach has yet to come into play. Next. Okay, here I gave a brief scenario of evaluation at the constitutional as well as operational levels in Nepal. I thank you for your time and patience. Your comments, questions, and feedback are highly appreciated. Thank you and namaste.